Good morning, the waning moon. And during this moon, I always think of all of our friends and co-workers and employees who are Muslim. And the end of this moon will be the end of Ramadan. It's impressive to see the religious practice of others who don't share our faith, who have a different way of seeing things and doing things. And actually what I said now is not very correct, because we obviously share a lot in the faith and the one creator, that God is merciful. So some of our visitors say it's worthwhile to get up early and to go out and watch the sunrise. Some of our guests here at the guest house at the hotel. It's interesting how some people take time for nature and others for television. Well, you're kind of watching television right now, because television means seeing from a distance. I meant it in a derogatory way. Sorry. All these birds are dancing here. Oh, they're over on the right here now. Shouldn't move when I'm zoomed in. It's nice to see them. They're really filled with energy. I just remembered that 2 days ago, I think it was, I showed you a plant which I called a fig tree, and it wasn't a fig tree. Actually, we have some of those plants here, I should have known better, that grew up in a construction site back there where we're going to build a final residence for our priests. And that's that little house that's over there is just a shack. It was really a barn, and it's not very firm. It has cracks in it from the last earthquake. But there are plants in there that have huge leaves, and they look like, in the distance, accurately, they look a little bit like fig leaves. They're very big and everything. And I'm sorry, I'm not the botanist, people. That's not my strength at all. But some kind person corrected me on that. I just got to see this abundance of flowers here. And they don't spin or weave, and they are dressed even finer than Solomon. Look how dry all this is. It was impossible to walk through here 2 months ago. This is also grown size to walk over here, alongside there in rough ground. This is where the path is. And now it's opened up again. These are all folded up, waiting for the sun to come out. I found a lot of them back here. I wonder how they are, if they're opened up or not. No, they're still closed. When I came back yesterday, this was all just one mass of colour. So in probably another 15 or 20 minutes they'll open up. And the bees are at work as well. We saw lots of bees yesterday, or a couple of bees, we saw them close up. There are many bees in here. I just see them. I just can't get them on camera for you. I couldn't see at that distance. Maybe you got to see them better than I did. I couldn't see them on the screen. I saw them moving around, so I was trying to catch them there with the camera. So it's interesting to see all these plants, you know. Today we have the parable of the vine again. We had it also on Sunday. The Sunday readings have a different cycle, different spread. So it's like the moon and the sun, they're going at a different speed. I think this is the thing I called figs, and they weren't. They were this plant, which also has very big leaves. Oh, it was on the Sunday evening hike, I remember now. I think it was on the Sunday evening hike. And that surprise hike. And then I called those. Somebody disagreed with me yesterday and said these are not weeds. Well, I'm sorry, it depends on how you see it. Because these grow abundantly. They're creepers that go all over the place. And if you're sowing grains or you have a field of grass for cattle, the morning glory might be very beautiful as a flower and might lift our hearts, but it's not the produce that's needed in agriculture. So we can have different opinions, I hope, peacefully on this issue. Maybe there are some official documents by some official body saying that they're not weeds, that they're good plants. So then our vine story, I'm the vine, you are the branches. And here you have all of these trees, all of these branches. It's just so obvious, right? This union that the branches need to have if they will bear fruit. Because it's all connected to the trunk, into the ground, into the roots. And there are many images like this expressing the same idea. For example, the image of the body, and Christ the head of the body. God forbid, if I were to lose an arm, I would still be alive. But if I lost my head, that'd be serious trouble. So, another image expressing the unity for the life. I am the vine, you are the branches. And this all reflects the first disciples' understanding and reception of the mystery of Christ. Look at this fruit, this tree here. Look at the fruit here. Again, one of our more informed botanists needs to tell us the name of this tree and post it there. And here it looks like it's riper. Not sure if it's edible. They look like little mini apples. There's a lot of them in the ground. There was another one I saw yesterday, and the ground is a complete carpet of these. I think we're going to go by it still. I think it's down here a little further. So none of these fruit could exist without being connected to the branches, and the branches connected to the trees, to the trunk of the tree, drawing from the ground, drawing water. And minerals. The water is stirring this morning, so we won't get a perfect reflection here. Got some very nice reflections there a while ago. I think one became a screenshot on Instagram. I wonder how much time have human beings spent contemplating, just pondering, just watching nature, watching reality. Imagine the amount of attention paid to birds flying until we learn to fly. And this teaching about the unity of a body, and the unity of a body that's a tree, that's a vine, and drawing this teaching from it, this understanding, this way to explain. I am the vine, you are the branches. And imagine if Revelation culminates there. Then how our desire should grow for union with the vine. And how we need to desire that and work that these branches don't get severed. Another parable that's very linked is this, well, it's actually the same one, right? It's my father is the caretaker of the vine, and he prunes, so he cuts off the ones that are not bearing fruit so that the tree will bear more fruit. This tree is really abundant in fruit. I wonder if there are any birds or animals that eat them. And there are more here. At an earlier stage. Look how far away these ones are from the roots. So these are connected up here. We just followed the trail. And the branch is connected in there to the stem. And if we were to go up to the top, how far away these are from the roots. We love our independence, we love our sense of freedom, but sometimes it needs a little coaching and training and clarification, because if our freedom is to be cut off from the body, to be cut off from the whole, then we risk losing our life. And our fruitfulness, the fulfillment of the mission we are entrusted with in life. Amazing abundance of fruit in this tree, isn't it? There are definitely more fruits here than leaves, as far as I can see. I would even think numerically. And you don't have more apples on a tree than leaves on the tree. But this one really, I think this one could get an Olympic prize for most fruit-bearing one of its species. It's really amazing. Everywhere, every corner, every angle. It looks like to be a nest up there. Is that a nest? I think it could be. As a child, we would see the crow's nest very easily. But then to find a thrush's nest, the thrush had beautiful music, a beautiful chirp, a musical chirp. The swallow's nests were easy to find as well, because they usually came into the cow barn and had their nest inside the cow barn or the hay shed. Amazing abundance of fruit. Maybe there's 1 million on this tree. Imagine when we get to heaven, and some people, we're going to be so surprised, they're going to be so laden with fruit. So laden with fruit. Remember the parable of the talents? And each one was given an entrusted amount to develop. When we get to heaven, we're going to see people so laden with fruit. Their talents are going to have given great glory to God. And especially because of their humble union with the vine. I presume this is another one that's not a fig tree. Yeah, it's not a fig leaf. I've realized that myself now. Okay, so those are the kind of ones I showed by mistake Sunday evening on the surprise hike that we were doing just for fun. Well, I'm doing this for fun as well, but also, when we're having fun, we can have a lot of blessing and a lot of insight into life. Oh, I found flowers here of the caper, and I went back to where our outside boat altar is, and I couldn't find any because we had a plant like this growing. Look at the caper flower. This is a little drain here, or a culvert. And here we have the capers are eaten with cured capers with salmon oftentimes, or other dishes. They're a little bitter, so they provide a nice contrast to blend items on the menu. And according to Professor Dineen of blessed memory, there are actually capers on the Shroud of Turin. And some grow apparently on the western wall, which is also interesting. And here we have these. It's months since these ones started to, not these two plants concretely, but it's months since this flower was visible along this trail, along this path. I think they're oleander. Obviously, the branches on a tree don't have much to decide about staying united to the tree, in contrast to us. In the case of our faith, it's a personal decision to accept Christ. And then it also requires a renewed decision every day to follow. And the end of the passage today is, my Father will be glorified that you bear much fruit and that you become my disciples. Wow, that really kicked off a whole train of thought in me. Maybe I still have to become Jesus' disciple. This is where we had all the bees yesterday, or some bees. And since we dallied a little more, I think our time is up. So may you enjoy it. We'll continue reflections this afternoon at Mass about the vine. To become Jesus' disciple. Oh, the bee is back. Be a bee, not a fly. That was nice, the little glimpse of light through the wings of the bee. People, God bless you. See you later, alligators.